Hello everyone and welcome to Think Python. In the series of tips and tricks, today we'll learn how to predict whether the entered year is a leap year or not. So all of us are aware that a leap year is the one with 366 days and it has 29 days in February. Now before we develop this code, let us understand the logic behind leap year. So contrary to the popular belief that leap years are not simply every 4 years, we actually skip a leap year if it falls on the start of a century. For example, the years 1700, 1800 and 1900 were not leap years despite of the fact that they are divisible by 4. But if that century year is divisible by 400, we do have a leap year. Okay, so that is the logic behind predicting whether the year is a leap year or not. Okay, now when we'll develop the code, first of all we need to rule out whether this is a century year or not. First of all, we'll check if it is divisible by 100, then we need to check the condition whether it is divisible by 400 or not. So a year, if it is divisible by 100, then we need to check whether that year is divisible by 400 as well. So if both the conditions are satisfied, then the year is a leap year. Otherwise, if it is divisible by 100 and not by 400, we'll declare it as not a leap year. And then the normal convention, if the entered year is not a century year, like it is the year 2020 or 2019 or 1586, any year, if it is not a century year, then we'll go by the simple convention of checking it by dividing it by 4. So I hope the logic is clear. Let's get started and develop the code. Okay, so I'll delete this and we'll ask the user to enter a year. Okay, int input, so we'll say enter the year to be checked. Okay, now this is stored in a variable called year. Now we'll carry on with our conditions. So first of all, we'll check whether this is a century year. So that is checked with the help of the if statement. I'll say if year divided by 100 equal to 0. So if it is divisible by 100, I need to check my second condition, which is whether it is divisible by 400 as well. So we'll say if year is divisible by 400, so that means if this operation gives me a remainder of 0, then I'll declare this year to be a leap year. So I'll simply print that this is a leap year. This is a leap year. Simple. Okay, and otherwise the other condition is if it is not divisible by 100, then we'll say that this is not a leap year. So I'll say else print not a leap year. Okay, so by these lines of codes we have handled the scenario of century year. Century year means a year which has 100 at its ends, like 1700, 1900, 2000 and so on. So with this, the first condition is addressed. Now I'll move out of this if statement and the outer if statement as well, and then we only have to check whether it is divisible by 4. So in the else, I say if year is divided by 4 is equal to 0, then this would be a leap year. So I'll simply copy this at this place like this, and else we would like to print that this is not a leap year. So it is very simple. So let's run the code. Enter the year to be checked. So let us enter the current year 2020, which is not a very good year. It has got virus. Hit enter. So this is a leap year. Beautiful. And similarly, one more time you can enter. Now 1700, for example, is a century year, but it is not divisible by 400. So this should not be a leap year. So it is not a leap year. Let me know whether the year 400 was a leap year or not a leap year. Okay, so keep thinking with Think Python, and till we meet again, take good care, have a good life. Bye bye.